What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 9. This one is with Dan Prince. Dan's a man, obviously. His name's Dan. But he is a lifelong musician, lifelong drummer. Grew up in California and made his way to Louisiana. We talk a lot about his journey through life and what he's been through and some of his experiences through music and how he got there. Really interesting story, really cool guy, and I'm really thankful that he wanted to be a part of it. So this is an ad-free podcast. If you want to so much as buy me a cup of coffee, I have a link below for a Patreon account that you can help me out a little bit. So if you enjoy this podcast, feel free to subscribe, like it, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And if you have any suggestions, always open to that as well. So feel free. Please enjoy the podcast. I get awkward sometimes. Thanks, guys. Peace. Cool. All right, Danny Prince. Welcome to the program.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Although I think I kind of just invited myself on, but
man, that's kind of what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I released it. I guess I did. The last podcast that I put out, I was like, I'm looking for people and
right.
Feel free to reach out. So
yeah, well, like I told you before, when Will Day told me about it, I was just stoked that, oh wow, someone in Ruston's doing a podcast. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we have a mutual friend, Nick Wilday. That's how we got connected.
I always forget his first name is Nick. I just call him Will Day.
You and most of everybody else that
well,
knows him.
I think it's because when he first started working at the shop, there was 2 Nicks. So we just started calling him Will Day.
Yeah. It's kind of a common name. I think that's kind of what happened across the board, maybe. But
look at us. We're a couple of Dans over here.
For sure.
It's the Dan show.
So I guess just kind of introduce yourself. Where are you from? What do you do?
Okay. Well, my name is Danny Prince. I've lived in a few different places. I guess I'd say I'm from Southern California.
Okay.
Because that's where I've lived. Actually, I've lived in Louisiana now the longest, but I guess I kind of grew up. I kind of grew up in Washington State and Southern California.
Okay.
So yeah.
And you're a musician.
Yeah.
Among other things.
Yeah.
So I guess where do we begin?
I guess from the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, let's see. I was actually born in the South.
Okay.
I was born in D. Queen, Arkansas.
All right.
To Jim and Pam Prince.
There you go. Shout out.
Yep. So we moved a good bit. When my dad was alive, he worked for Weyerhaeuser Lumber Company.
For sure.
And so we moved a good bit because of that. So I was born in D. Queen, Arkansas. Lived there till I was 2. Then we moved to Idabel, Oklahoma. And then we lived there till, I was about 7, I think. And then we moved up to Sumner, Washington, which is Seattle area.
Okay.
And at that time, that's when my dad, he actually got skin cancer. And he actually got it on his heel, of all places. And he passed away. And then after that, I was 8 years old. And then we moved to Renton, Washington. And this is all pretty much just Seattle area. And that's actually where my parents were originally from. They were from Seattle. They met at the University of Washington.
Okay.
So, but like I said, when my dad he worked for Weyerhaeuser for like 20 years. And so they moved a good bit for that. They lived in Washington, Oregon, Montana. Then they moved to the South, and I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers, so got a big family.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how old were you when your dad passed?
I was 8.
Wow.
I was 8 years old. Yeah, and then it was just my mom and us 7.
Yeah. That's wild. So
and
y'all kind of
she survived.
Yeah, kind of helped raise each other.
Right.
I would imagine.
And then so then when I was a sophomore in high school, that's when my mom me and my youngest sister, Caroline, my mom decided, you know what? I think I want to change. Let's move to San Diego.
And what did your mom do
Well, she was just a stay-at-home mom.
at that point?
But yeah, and then like when my dad passed, I guess he had a pretty good life insurance plan. So that helped out us as a family quite a bit. And then, but my mom, she was a teacher before. When my mom and dad first got married, she was a teacher. So she had a teaching degree.
Yeah.
So after that, she would do like, teaching jobs and stuff like that too.
Fair enough.
So let's see. Yeah, we moved to San Diego. I was 15, and my sister Caroline was 13, I believe, or I was 16 and she was 14, something like that.
So you went from like getting rained on like 10 months of the year to like sunny and like the most beautiful place in the world.
What they actually say about Washington though, that it actually doesn't rain. Like the amount of rain isn't that much more than anywhere else. It's just like it's constantly just overcast and dreary and
kind of like it has been around here recently.
Yeah. So but the amount of rain, it's not really that much more than anywhere else. But like it's just like cloudy all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it is anymore, but Washington used to have the highest suicide rate. So maybe the weather had something to do with that. I don't know.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah.
So, like, did you grow up around the grunge movement?
Yes. So, let's see. I graduated high school in 2000. So, I would have been, it was about mid-90s or so about early to mid-90s when I lived up there. And I listened to Nirvana and Pearl Jam and Soundgarden.
But I guess you were too young to like go to a show or like that.
It's funny, like when I moved to Washington, that's actually where I discovered like skateboarding and snowboarding.
Okay.
And that's what I was into when I lived up there, was skateboarding and snowboarding. And I liked grunge music.
That was still like super raw and I mean, obviously it's all ever evolving still, but
it's funny now. Like the skaters now, the skateboarding has gotten so ridiculous since I used to skate all the time. Like I tell people this when like an end trick in skateboard videos like 10 years ago. That's what skaters now, that's what they warm up with.
Yeah.
Like that's like, it's like nothing. Like, oh, I'll just, backside lip slide this 15 stair rail just to warm up, It's gotten pretty ridiculous, which is awesome though. I mean, I guess
flipping in, flipping out of rails.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's straight up like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, but for real. Like that's what they're doing. Just down the most gnarliest stuff. It's ridiculous, but cool.
Yeah, for sure. I get wild every day. I look at a video, like every time Thrasher comes out with something and it grabs my attention, I'm watching it and it's just like, well, I mean, right now I'm on snowboarding because it's winter, but like skating still continues to amaze me.
Yeah, I haven't really been following snowboarding too much. I mean, I guess there's Shaun White obviously, but when I was super into snowboarding and did it a good bit, I mean, it was snowboarders like Peter Line and
like
Terje Hawkinson.
Okay.
And
See, like the earliest guy I remember is like Sean Palmer.
Okay. Yeah.
I just remember, which like obviously Sean Palmer like was like the snowboarder, but like I can remember like the video game coming out on Game Boy and all that stuff.
Right.
But that's like my early. Obviously, you're got some age on me, but I don't know. Keep going.
Yeah. So definitely into grunge and all that type of stuff, but at that time I was into that, like metal stuff like that, but I liked a lot of like hip hop too, or like almost. I mean, I love like Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird, like just like skating as a kid and just blaring Wu-Tang Clan. I don't know. That's just
So,
what we were into at the time.
Like, I mean, then you still skated whenever you were down in Southern California, yeah?
Yeah, I did that. So when I moved to Southern California, I was 15 or 16, and I was about a junior in high school, and then graduated high school in 2000. And let's see, after that, went to community college for a little bit, and then for about almost 2 years. And then I heard about a school called Musicians Institute in Los Angeles. And actually, my mom found it randomly.
So what were you pursuing at the community college?
I don't know. Nothing really.
Yeah.
Just kind of something to do.
Taking
really.
some classes.
Yeah. I mean, I really didn't have a focus too much. That's actually where I discovered drumming, though. Before that, I'm a drummer. I play in a band called Jethro Skull. That's why I'm talking about this.
For sure.
Yeah, but it was actually my friend Mike Metcalf in high school. He had just this old drum kit in his garage, and I was just like banging around on it one day, and I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. And then I eventually bought my own drum kit, and that's
This is after high school?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is probably right because I didn't pick up drumming till I was about 18. So
Wow.
this was after high school.
That's cool.
And and that's pretty much all I wanted to do all the time, and that pretty much consumed all of my time. And I wasn't doing so well at school and stuff. And the only class I was doing well because they actually had a drumming class as an elective, and I was excited about that. So I guess, and then my mom had found Musicians Institute online. I guess she was just like researching stuff online, and she's like, "Well, you should check out the school called the Musicians Institute. It's in LA, and that's only 2 hours from here." And sure enough, I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I mean, it's still kind of fun. Like to go there now, I'm sure it's a little different, but you had to like record yourself drumming and like write a paper saying, why you want to go here and all this type of stuff. And at the time, I think I'd only been playing the drums for maybe 2 years, and I was pretty bad. Like I wasn't very good.
Yeah.
And I could keep somewhat of a beat, but I mean, not very good.
Were you just drumming along to tracks, or?
Yeah, kind of doing that, or just jam with friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I still remember, like when I did my audition tape, the head of the drum department up there at Musicians Institute, his name was Tim Pedersen, and I went up there and visited the school, and he talked to me, and he was like, "Look, I listened to your audition, and it wasn't very good." And he basically told me, like, people that come here are serious, and you're going to have to work really hard to, like, keep up with all the stuff that's going on here. Because it's literally just, like, drumming all the time. And for someone, he's like, for someone like you who's only been drumming for 2 years, you're going to want to, like, at least practice this stuff 3 to 4 hours every single day outside of class. And I was like, okay. But so went there, super fun, learned a lot. It was a great school. I think I could have done a little. I took the journeyman program there, which is only a 1.5-year program, and you can get you can take their degree program, which is a 4-year music degree.
Yeah.
But they have a journeyman program that I took, and you basically just get a certificate saying, hey, you took this program at the journeyman program at Musicians Institute. And that was fun. And obviously you're in LA, so it's just like music all around, and there's just distractions all around.
Yeah.
So, you get into a little bit of debauchery here and there, but
this
it's all
is
good
like,
and fun, though.
This is like the bloom of the internet age as well, right?
Yeah, so this would have been, let's see, about 2002, 2003.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Around there. And but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't even know if and like the big thing then was like MySpace.
Okay.
And so all the bands were on MySpace.
Yeah.
Like, check out my MySpace account. Here. We got a show posted on our MySpace account.
Who's on your top 5?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then, you like lose friends. Or, hey, dude, I can't talk to you. I wasn't on your top 5. And
Most definitely.
no, I never got that way. But, yeah, so I don't – yeah, Facebook wasn't a thing. Well, not that I knew of or anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, MySpace was the big thing. So, yeah, went to that school for a year and a half. Super fun. If there's any musicians out there, I would recommend it. I mean, I guess now, we're living in the internet age, and you could probably do all this stuff online.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I really liked about that school, and I'm sure it's completely different now too. I mean, even some of the stuff that they had as far as equipment, it was kind of old, but I'm sure it's gotten a lot better now and everything. But it was the instructors. Like, they pretty much forced you to play. And if, like, you went in there, because you have to, it was just like going to, like, a college or something, any other school. You're just like, okay, you have homework assignments. Okay, you got to learn this drum beat. You got to understand this fill, learn this song type of thing. You got to know this and that.
So that's what you were learning. You were, like, physically learning how to hone your skills.
Right. And like I said, I took it was called the PIT program, which is Percussion Institute of Technology. No, what was it? Percussion Institute something. I don't know. They call it the PIT because you could go there for drums, you could go there for guitar, you could go there for keyboard, and you could go there for vocals, and maybe music or recording. Recording.
Producing.
Yeah, producing. Yeah, and where I don't even remember where I was going with this.
You finished the class?
Yeah. Okay. So, the instructors. So they pretty much force you to play. I mean, not like, in a bad way or anything, but I mean, you definitely.
It's structured in a way.
And I definitely got way better by going there than if I would have done it on my own, I think.
Yeah.
Because they can see you. They see you day to day. They can see your progression, or if you're not progressing and stuff like that, and they're just like, okay, you need to practice this. You haven't been. You came in here and played. It sucked. I mean, they're straight up with you too.
For sure.
It's like you sounded like crap, and you need to do this and that. But I mean, they were, obviously they would give you constructive criticism, but they were, pretty straight up. Like, yeah, you sounded good, or no, this was bad.
Right.
You need to work on this.
Yeah.
So that definitely helped.
And in that,
a lot.
I mean, that's what you needed to do what you were doing.
Yeah.
Like,
so
there's no like candy coating it, I guess.
Right. Yeah. So it was good. A lot of fun. And then that's actually where I met my buddy Derek, who was actually from Louisiana. So where I'm going with this, I'm gonna tell you how I ended up in Louisiana.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Go ahead.
It's eventually gonna get there.
Yeah, you're good.
So this is about. So I graduated from Musicians Institute. This was about 2004. Dang it, I could be wrong. It's anywhere from 2004 to 2006, I think, something like that. Anyway, so I met my friend Derek W., who was from Louisiana, who's from Bastrop, and we actually started playing in a band together. We were called Highlines, and played around L.A. for a while. We lived there for about 4 years altogether, I think.
And what kind of music are you playing?
We were compared to, like, let's see, Jimmy Eat World, Fall Out Boy, that kind of stuff at the time.
Emo pop.
Yeah, kind of emo pop, even though we didn't like being categorized as that. But
fair enough.
Anyway, it was all good.
Yeah,
and,
like I mean, I'm a huge Brand New fan.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like the whole same.
Yeah, our
era.
singer Johnny, he really liked them.
Yeah.
Brand New. So that so it kind of in that vein,
Yeah.
And so anyway, played around L.A. for a while. It was a lot of fun. And then it was me, Derek, and Johnny. We were just 3-piece. And Derek and Johnny, they were from Louisiana. Derek was from Bastrop, and Johnny was from Baton Rouge. So after a while, they were just like, you know what? I think we want to move back, and we want to play around the South, and we want you to move with us. So I was like, okay, why not? I know it sounds kind of weird because, like, so you moved away from Los Angeles to pursue a music career? At the time, it sounded great. Well, I think our logic was, because at the time, we were living in a 1-bedroom apartment with 4 people. and we were just like constantly broke.
Yeah.
And living in Los Angeles, lots of times you pay to play. You're paying these places so you can play there. So it wasn't like here where, hey, play here, you get the door, and so that's what their kind of logic was. Is like, hey, I think we can actually tour around the South and make money.
Yeah.
And just being a band.
At least pay for our food.
Exactly. So I was like, cool, yeah, let's do it. And so we moved back. Derek's dad, I guess he was kind of like our manager, so he helped us out a good bit. Helped us. We recorded an album at Sunset Studio in Los Angeles. He helped us out a bunch with. We got a PA system and a trailer and all this stuff. So when we moved to, this was about, I don't know, 2006-ish, 7-ish. Moved back here, and just played around the South for a while. Around here.
Where was home base?
I guess it was the Monroe area. When we first moved back, we were just staying at Derek's dad's house till we kind of got on our feet. Because basically, the first year that I moved back, that's all I did was music. I didn't do anything else. And then after a while, I was like, well, I don't want to stay at Derek's dad's house the whole time. So when we weren't playing music, I got a part-time job, and first I started working at Johnny's Pizza part-time, and then Derek's uncle, he owned a screen printing shop, and I worked there part-time.
Gotcha.
So I would do screen printing by day, rock starring by night. So that was in my mind anyway.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. I mean, played a bunch around the South. Went up to the East Coast a bunch of times. Went back to California a few times.
And y'all are just like traveling in a van.
Yeah. Well, actually, I had a Dodge Dakota.
Okay.
And we would travel in that.
Three dudes in
a Dodge Dakota, and that was the beauty of being a 3-piece, is that we didn't have a whole bunch of gear.
Yeah.
Just drums, bass, and guitar, and then eventually we added some backing tracks, so we'd have like keyboards. I'd be playing with I'd have like a click in my ear, so we'd have like all this extra stuff in the background, stuff like that. So we sounded pretty full for just a 3-piece.
That's cool.
And I did that for a few years. It was a lot of fun. Recorded 2 albums.
I'm sure there's some crazy stories from the road.
Yeah, dude. I'm trying to think. Well, one that Derek and I always talk about. So we, after a gig, we'd usually go to a party or something like that, and then I don't even remember where we were. We were in Baton Rouge. And I can't remember where we were, like whose party it was or whose house it was, but it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and we had driven down from Bastrop to Baton Rouge for a week, playing some gigs down there. And we were leaving someone's house at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and Derek and I were driving back. We were staying with the singer, Johnny, his parents. We were staying at his parents' house while we were down there. So we were just driving back there. We were just like, okay, just a night of partying where, we've been up all night. And so we're just going back. And Derek and I, as we're driving back, we get in an argument about something. And I don't remember what it was, but we just start yelling at each other because we're mad. I mean, we were still intoxicated.
Yeah.
And, I'm not condoning drinking and driving. I was good enough. Trust me, I'm still here. Anyway, so we get in this argument. We start yelling at each other, and finally, I just slam on the brake. I think we're on the interstate somewhere, and I just slam on the brakes and turn my truck over to the side of the road, and I get out, and I just go around to the passenger side, and I just pull Derek out of the car and throw him on the side of the road. Or maybe he just got it. I don't know. We always argue with each other about like what really happened, because this was kind of a while ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, So I don't know. Emotions are running high, and we just kind of squash it. We're just like, okay, I think we just got heated for whatever reason, and now we calm down. Let's get back in the truck and go to Derek's parents' house and get some sleep. So anyway, so we get back in the truck, and I actually felt really bad. I ain't gonna lie. I actually cried a little bit because I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I don't know what. I guess the demon came out for a second, dude.
Yeah.
Kids, that's what alcohol does to you. The shadow comes out. So anyway, so I'm getting to it. So we get back to Johnny's parents' house, and we just go to sleep. And about an hour later, Johnny's mom comes into my room where I'm sleeping. She's like, Dan, you need to come out here. There's a police officer at the front door, and I think he's asking about you guys. And I was like, what? I was like, oh, okay. And so I get out, and there's these two police officers at the door. And I'm just like, hello? And they're like, yeah, were you involved in some sort of altercation with a woman on the side of the road or something like that? And at first, I had no idea what they were talking about. I was like, what? Altercation with some woman? I was like, no. And I was just like shaking my head. I was like, I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. And then like all of a sudden it just dawned on me. I was like, someone must have saw Derek and I, because Derek at the time, he had long blonde hair. And he's kind of a smaller guy. So from a distance, he would kind of look like a girl.
Someone could mistake him for a woman.
So, and then all of a sudden, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I was like, okay, I know what's going on here. It was like, it wasn't a woman. It was my friend Derek and I. We got in an argument while we were in my truck driving on the interstate. We got out and we started pushing each other. And they're like, and they were kind of looking at me like, okay, whatever. Derek comes out. He's got this long blonde hair, and he's just like, I'm the girl.
Oh man, that's perfect.
So then the cops are just like, they're like, okay, well, so is everything okay? Was it? Yeah, we just got in an argument. Things got heated. Because it probably, from an outsider's perspective, it was probably quite the spectacle because I had just slammed on my brakes, tires screeching, smoke going everywhere, and I just pull over to the side of the road, and someone just sees some dude go out and looks like he's fighting some girl, on the side of the road.
Yeah.
So it was, but dude, we every time I see Derek, we always have a good laugh about it, and I don't know. So that's one that we always remember because it was just kind of, until this day, we're just like, how, because it was like maybe an hour and a half later when they showed up, and we were just thinking, how did they know we were here? Like, did someone follow us here?
Yeah.
And so we could never figure that out. It was pretty wacky.
That is strange. So I'm sure being a small band traveling around, you had to go to some weird venues, huh?
Oh, dude, yeah. We were the DIY big time. We did everything ourselves. And Derek and Johnny, God bless them. They did so much for the band. Derek, he pretty much booked all our gigs. He did all our recording. Johnny, and Derek and Johnny, they were really good about writing songs. They were really good at collaborating, and I just had to rock out on the drums pretty much. And but yeah, they were awesome, man. And but yeah, you get to play the good gigs, and there's a lot of not so good gigs, where you go into a bar and it's like half flooded, and there's like half a broken speaker there, like, hey, there's your PA, and so it's just like, and but we didn't care. We're all in our mid-20s, and we're just like, cool, this is great, awesome, let's do it.
Thanks for letting us play.
Yeah, we were stoked on it, and we wanted to get paid just as much as anybody else, but at the same time, we were just like, I don't know, we were just kind of like, okay, we got to prove ourselves type of thing, So we just do that. We'd play, play here in Louisiana a good bit. We tried to play gigs where we were playing with other bands because we really didn't want to do the whole cover band thing. But it was just those were just usually the gigs that paid the best.
Yeah.
So we had to do them.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, and, Johnny and Derek, they already knew a bunch of covers already. So, we had a bunch of songs in our arsenal, but we were really trying to focus on our music. So we had eventually, before we broke up, we had about 25 songs. So we really tried to play shows that, where we were playing with other bands and where we could just play our set with our music,
Right, yeah.
But, being in the South,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the rest of the country, but it seems like there's like an overwhelming amount of like.
Well, I shouldn't say just in the South, but I mean, just anywhere. It's just.
There's just a lot of cover bands.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm sure like it is across the board, but like I'm talking about like the guys that are like dressing up and playing all the 80s and 70s stuff.
Which is cool. I mean, I enjoy that too.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to a couple of those shows before, but I feel like there's like 8 of those bands that like rotate around here. So, I don't know, it's just kind of weird to me.
Yeah, I mean.
But I guess if you can make a living the dream, like, who's going to stop you?
Exactly. I mean, I'm not knocking anyone for doing that. I mean, we wanted to do our thing, We definitely, that's what we were trying to do, but like I said, it's just like the cover band gigs, they were just always there, and like, hey, this is a decent money making gig, so we're just like, we couldn't turn it down,
Yeah.
I
mean, was that usually like events or birthday parties?
Well, let's see. I mean, I think we did some birthday parties. I mean, we played I think 1 or 2 events for ULM, which were really fun. See, I don't know. I think we did a wedding or 2, and then here in North Louisiana, like locally, we would play at like when the Blue Monkey was around, we would play there. I don't know. Do you remember the Blue Monkey in Monroe?
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware that it existed.
Yeah.
I grew up in West Monroe.
Okay.
So like, I went to West Monroe High School and. Grew up in the area, so
Right.
like I knew of like Mustang Sally's and,
Okay.
and the Blue Monkey and the Brass Monkey and all those places, but I never really went out to them. Got in the mix.
I don't know if we ever played the Brass Monkey. That might have been a different type of crowd or something. But yeah, no, the Blue Monkey, 6th Street. Let's see. At the time, it was Olive Street, I think, and then it was. Tsunami, and then the Trial Bar, and then
I know that's like that. I don't. Does that even exist anymore?
No. Trial Bar's closed.
Trial Bar was closed.
And actually, before it was,
but that
Live
was
Oaks,
the scene.
Yeah.
Trial Bar was the scene for like non-popular rock music in North Louisiana.
Yeah.
I mean, there was just like a variety of different genres.
Well, we actually never really played. Because I don't think it was the Trial Bar then when we were a band. I think it was still Olive Street. But locally in like the Monroe area, we would usually play either the Blue Monkey or 6th Street. And that was a lot of fun.
Used to go to 6th Street on Wednesdays for penny pitchers.
Oh, yeah. I think we may have played one of those one time. It was usually on the weekend, but I don't know if we did or not.
I never like frequented there, but there was a lot of people that I went to high school with that would go in the middle of the week during school.
Yeah.
Did not understand it. They'd show up Thursday morning and just hung over as all get out.
Like, I guess
dude, we got to do algebra, bro.
Yeah, when you're young and kind of footloose and fancy free, I guess you can do that. Now I would probably just die.
Oh, no doubt.
I don't think I could do that.
Did you drink a pitcher of Long Island iced tea? Yeah, I'd rather die. I'd rather not throw up all day.
But yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. So, and then, but sadly that came to an end. Johnny, the singer, I guess he just didn't really want to do it anymore, and he was just kind of wanted to do other things, and as probably that's how a lot of bands go.
Peacefully,
yeah. But no, it was all good. I mean, I still keep in contact with Derek a good bit. I'm actually going to see him next month. Derek is still very much involved in music. He's got several music projects that he does. He does recording. He teaches music. So he's heavily, for me now, like, I mean, I play in a band now, but I guess honestly it's more of a hobby than like, I don't know. It's definitely not a full-time gig or anything, but it's
So the band that you're in now is Jethro Skull?
Jethro Skull, yes.
And yeah, that's a different genre.
Yeah.
Completely.
I pretty much went from playing in Fall Out Boy to Slayer. So it's
That's awesome.
No, I don't want to compare it to Slayer. We're not nearly that good, but I mean we're pretty good, I think, for what we do. But yeah, we're kind of, it's like metal, punk rock. You know,
have a piccolo or a flute?
No, none of that.
I just Jethro Skull.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, no, we're trying to be funny. You know, it's a play on, you know, Jethro Tull, obviously, but that was the name of the band actually before I was in it. There's been a lot of the lineup we have now we've had this for a while, but over the year, I mean, I want to say altogether Jethro Skull's been a band for maybe 7 years, 8 years maybe. But so yeah, there was Jethro Skull before I joined.
Everybody lives here in Ruston?
Yeah, no, actually I live here in Ruston. Scott, the singer, he lives in Bastrop, and Craig, the guitar player, he lives in Monroe, and then Vance, the bass player, he is in Start.
Okay.
I think the home of Tim McGraw.
That's right.
I think
That's
so.
right.
He's out there hanging with the McGraw and doing their thing, and no, I don't know, but yeah, I'm the only one.
All
that lives
northeast Louisiana.
Yeah.
So not too far to get together.
So yeah, we all got our own lives going on. You know, we got kids and whatnot. So we probably only play, I don't know, maybe once a month at the most. But yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun.
So like you say, it is more of a hobby than anything.
Yeah.
It's just something that, I mean, you still drum at home, like?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, still that. Try to keep my chops up a little bit.
For sure.
But yeah, you know, I work here in Ruston at Tommy's Tees. Been doing that. Oh shoot, been working there for like almost 9 years. Yeah, so. We've just been slanging them shirts.
Yeah.
And
what do you do there?
Yeah, I'm a production manager.
Okay.
And so I manage production.
Yeah. And Tommy's Tees is not just some Mickey Mouse T-shirt.
No.
Y'all pump out a bunch of shirts.
Yeah, dude. Tommy's Tees. And I might be biased because I work there, but dude, it is probably the best screen printing shop in all of Louisiana by far. I mean, just the equipment that we use, the people working there. I mean, the people are super cool, got great equipment, great artists. I mean, dude, we're pumping out anywhere from to 2,000 to 6,000 shirts a day.
That's wild.
Yeah, you know.
And I know y'all get business from all over the place.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah. I mean, obviously we do a lot of local stuff, do stuff for tech. But we have a lot of customers that have their own clothing line, so we do a lot of printing for them. So yeah, dude, it's like. Yeah, I mean it's legit. You should come up there sometime, dude. I'll show you around. It's pretty cool, and people might not know this about screen printing, but a lot goes into it.
Yeah,
people think, oh, you just order a shirt and you get it, and that's it. But it's actually pretty cool, dude. Like yeah, a lot goes into it. It's not bad, you know. It pays the bills. So
for sure, I don't doubt it. That's awesome.
But yeah, I don't know if that I may have just been all over the place there, dude. I know it was kind of a long, convoluted story.
No, that was wonderful. That was great.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, so I've been living here now in Louisiana for about I want to say maybe 13 years. Working at Tommy's Tees. Playing in Jethro Skull, which is a lot of fun. We're actually recording a new album right now.
Sweet.
I guess a little EP, just 6 songs. So
yeah.
Doing that, a lot of fun. So got some new music coming out.
You have family here or anything?
I do. I have a daughter. I have an 8-year-old daughter. Yeah, I guess I kind of skipped over that part. So I got married while I was here.
Gotcha.
But now I'm divorced, sadly. But I do have a wonderful 8-year-old daughter named Grace. Which is, I mean, what can I say? She's a blessing, and I'm extremely blessed that I have her as my daughter.
Most definitely, for sure.
And but yeah, you know, but she's with her mom most of the time. They live in Bastrop. But yeah, I get to see her, you know, during the week and every other weekend, and we just have a grand old time.
Awesome.
So it's
Awesome.
a lot of fun, man.
So you plan on staying here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like when I first moved out here, we was like, why would you want to move here? Like, and this is coming from somebody who's lived in a lot of different places. So
Yeah.
I can say this, and Ruston's not bad. I guess. I mean, it doesn't have I guess a whole lot of like big city type of stuff, but I've lived in worse places for sure. But Ruston, it's not bad. I guess you live anywhere for long enough, people just I'm just tired of this place.
Yeah.
I guess, but
I definitely had that for a little while, and that's
not that people feel that way around here, man. Maybe there's probably a lot of people in Ruston that that Ruston's awesome. I mean, it is. I've liked it here. It's not.
I guess doing this and kind of putting myself out there here recently, it's kind of opened my eyes up to there is a lot more cooler people here and cooler things and
absolutely,
and people
dude.
that just want to do good things and be a part of things and collaborate. And I moved to Denver, Colorado.
Oh, okay.
People that listen to this podcast all the time, I've already heard this story, but I moved to Denver, Colorado for like 6 months, basically because I had to get out of North Louisiana. I lived here my whole life, and I was like, I have a very wanderlust feeling about me, and I don't have a dog or a girlfriend or anything, so like, I would really love to just be able to live out of a van and travel around, but I realized I still have to pay bills and stuff too, so... but yeah, and that was the thing. I was just itching so bad to get out of here, and then ended up coming back, and it is home. There's no doubt about that, and something that I've seen before from some guy that I know is like, you leave your home, but if you come back, you always have a lot more connections there, and things tend to be a little bit easier there. And obviously, you can go and make your own way, but things are a lot easier at home. And
absolutely,
that's not necessarily the way I want to do it, but if it gets my foot in the door, what does it really care?
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's no right or wrong way or anything. I mean, I think that's what, and Johnny, Derek, and I, that's, I think we kind of had that wanderlust spirit too. I mean, we love to just, pile up in the truck and let's go play some gigs out in, the East Coast somewhere. We loved that. It was great. And traveling is a lot of fun, seeing new places, especially being in a band. It's great.
Well, and I always hear people saying like, well, you travel enough and you'll get over it. And it almost sounds like you kind of did that, like, and you did it for a long time. It sounds like, and you kind of rode that wave for as long as you wanted to, and now you've.
Well, even in Jethro Skull, like, we don't really play locally that much. It's we'll either go out to Texas, Dallas area, or I mean we haven't gone too far. I mean, I think the farthest we've traveled is St. Louis. We played a gig. It was called Brinkstock. This was actually really fun. It was at this skate park that was in an old abandoned church.
Okay.
They call it the Church of Skating.
It got my attention.
And it was a pretty gnarly skate park in there. I mean, it's been in Thrasher and stuff like that, so it's somewhat known. And dude, that was a lot of fun. Just had a bunch of bands come out. They had like a skate contest there, and that's kind of what we thrive on. That with Jethro Skull, it's like Scott and I, we grew up skateboarding, so that was kind of our connection with one another. Like, love talking about skateboarding and everything, and so there's a lot of skateboard themed stuff in Jethro Skull. I mean, we got one of our songs is called "Coping Killer," and then we got some more that, and then skateboarding and stuff. And Scott and Craig, the guitar player, they're into like the old school wrestling. So a lot of our merchandise will have like, old school wrestling themed, and a lot of our songs are like that. We have actually a new song we're doing right now called Devastation Incorporated. And it's all like wrestling themed, and it's pretty cool. Yeah,
Danny brought me a Jethro Skull shirt, and it is sick. And you will definitely see it on this podcast later on. Super pumped on that. Skateboarding is something that I have these cameras, and I've been filming motocross, and I'm still going to continue to film motocross.
Cool. Yeah.
But I really want to film skateboarding.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to, and I've always been drawn to that. Like, before Tony Hawk did the 900, but
Right.
obviously the world took off in skateboarding after that. But like, I've always been attracted to that old Sony video camera,
right.
with the
Just get you a fisheye lens.
Yeah,
dude,
no, I
and
got one,
Oh,
so,
there, dude. That's,
yeah.
I'm
ready.
I'll brush off the old skateboard, dude. We can
Let's
go
put together
do
and
some
edit.
skating.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say a few years ago at what was that, like, not the Peach Festival here, but what's that other thing where vendors are out and I'm drawing a blank right now, but I can't remember what it was. Not Peach Festival, but
Like the art crawl or
it
something.
might be something like that.
Yeah.
There was a guy, he had a booth, and he was talking about, he was trying to petition to get a skate park built in Ruston here.
Yeah.
But
And
I mean, I don't know if that'll come to
Yeah, I
fruition.
think
That was like
that's-
3 years ago.
That's
so.
still kind of in the plan down there where they're
Oh, okay.
building all the baseball fields kind of south of town. But they got bigger issues right
Yeah,
now.
I'm
than
sure.
building a skate park.
I'm sure skateboarding's the last thing on their mind.
Yeah, there used to be a park. I just actually came across this earlier this week on the internet called Holy Roller Skate Park in Bossier. And apparently it's been around forever. And a younger guy had bought it, but I think he ended up having to close it here recently. And he's been putting out some skateboarding content, so I need to reach out to him.
Cool.
Try to have a conversation with him. But
yeah, Scott, the singer, he actually used to run Fast Times. There was a skateboard park in Monroe.
Yeah.
And he ran that for a while.
Just on the south side of the interstate there?
I think so.
In like an old warehouse?
Yeah.
I used to go there.
Yeah.
I got into inline for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
Mainly because like we had a skating rink like right by our house, and that's where everybody had their birthday parties and all this stuff. And so me and one of my friends named Levi Elliott, shouts out to Levi, he lives in Canada now. But yeah, we were real little guys, and we had these inline skates, and they were good urethane wheels and good bearings, and so they would fly. And so we figured out that not only could we beat everybody in the races, but we could also drop down an age group, so we could really make sure that we won the pretzel or ice cream cone or whatever it was that you won. But yeah, I've been there. I've been to that skate park, and it's sad that stuff doesn't exist anymore. I mean, there's one skate park that I know of in the I-20 corridor, which is in Shreveport at Stoner Plaza, that Rob Deerdeck actually came through and
I think so. Yeah.
8 years ago or something.
Yeah.
But it's tiny.
Yeah. I don't think I haven't been, actually it's funny, Bastrop actually has a small skate park. I mean, it's just a couple of, it's just some flat ground with a couple of metal ramps. That's it. But I remember when I first moved there, I was like, wow, Bastrop has a skate park. I thought that was pretty cool, though.
Yeah. El Dorado, Arkansas has one kind of like that. It's just a little fenced-in area with some metal ramps and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's just not as. It just hadn't gained popularity here, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, dude, and there's a lot. I mean, I still have like that skater's eye. Like I'll be driving around Ruston. I'm like, dude, that is so gnarly right there.
I've been working in Rayville a lot recently, and there's this big long handrail that just like kinks over. It's right by this church. I'm like, there's a good long run up, man. A BMX bike would be beautiful on this. Like somebody pulling somebody. I just think about that crap all the time.
Yeah,
there's so many stair sets around here in Ruston too. I think about that all the time.
Yeah. It's funny. Scott's like that too. He's 40 something now. It's actually his birthday today.
Oh wow!
So happy birthday, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he still does that. I mean, we'll be driving around. I was like, dude, look at that ditch right there. That concrete ditch. We could so skate that. Like, oh, this hill right here would be. We could bomb that. And it's still 40, dude. Still's got that skater's eye, dude.
A funny story about bombing a hill. So I used to go to Louisiana Tech. I graduated from there, but I was like working on campus in Hideaway Park, which is like right by where the basketball coliseum is. And there's a big hill right there, and it's real secluded unless you know about it. And one day I was working over there, like blowing off all the pathways, and I was walking back to put this thing up. And it's like 3:30 in the afternoon, and I see this guy on a longboard, and he gets up to the top of the hill, and he's just like, crap. And I was just like right there, and I look around. I was like, "What's up, dude?" He's like, "Man, I just drove all the way over here from Shreveport to bomb this hill, and they put a freaking speed bump right in the middle of it." I was like, "Oh yeah,
That's dedication there,
yeah,
bro.
they did." He's like, "I'm still gonna do it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right." I like drove down to the bottom and gave him a ride back up to the top. I was like, "If you're willing to do that, bro, I'll give you a ride to the top." So,
Nice. So did he do it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh,
yeah.
okay, cool.
He just kind of like there was like a dip in the middle of him, and so he just would
Oh, okay.
weave his way through the middle
Gotcha.
of it. I don't know, it was strange.
But yeah. So yeah, dude. Trying to think. That's it. I mean, I guess that's my story in a nutshell. Yeah. Just like I said, when Will Day told me about this, like, I mean, pretty much now, dude. As far as like entertainment or anything, it's podcasts and music for me.
Yeah.
So
I watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to a lot of podcasts here recently. Today I listened to Joe Rogan and Travis Barker.
Oh, okay.
You may want to listen to that.
Yeah.
That may pique your interest. He has gone through a whole bunch of stuff that I had no idea about. So
I'm sure. Yeah.
That was really interesting. But the whole podcasting thing is definitely. I mean, now that I'm into it too, it's like really. That's like all I think about sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of bad sometimes, but
well, it's good, dude. And like we were talking before, so the one thing that really has drawn me to podcasts is just like, you can really get someone's perspective on things. It's not just some little quick hit like on the news or something like that. Hey, let's talk about this, giant issue for 10 minutes or something, or or like let's get like 3 or 4 people on this panel, and they can shout out their 30 seconds of what they think of this or whatever.
You can really flesh it out.
So that's why I like podcasts. Joe Rogan's. I like Jocko Willink's podcast. But yeah, dude. I mean, because they get in depth. They talk about stuff, and that's what I like. It's not just so, I don't know, superficial. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not sounding like a snob over
no,
here.
I mean that's. We talked about it. Like, I just want to keep all this organic and natural and stuff, and the world is full of clickbait, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. So I know it may be my demise, but I'd be happy with that. So as long as I don't get too clickbaity.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Coca-Cola might come up to you, hey, just have this Coke right here.
This is an ad-free podcast.
Here's $50,000.
And I'm totally accepting ads. I'm totally looking for ads.
Yeah,
no doubt about that.
I mean that. That's the way it is.
I guess I'm not gonna let somebody come over here and like start drama or talk about drama.
Right.
Like, that is, that, and if it happens, like, I don't know, you may see it if they make a fool out of themselves. But like
people love drama, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll never put like a full bold caption unless I just like hit the jackpot and interview the coolest dude in the world. He tells some crazy stories. So
yeah.
Well, cool, man. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for being a part of it. And
thank you for having me. This has been great. Hopefully it was somewhat interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely, and hopefully we can do it again. Maybe get those other guys on here in the band.
Yeah, really, Scott. I mean, Scott. He's he's I mean, all the dudes in the band are, Scott, Craig, and Vance. I mean, they got their own little. They got their story or whatever.
Yeah. So well, I plan on trying to start to do some like group stuff with more than one person and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna try out some stuff and see what happens, and just keep pumping out content.
Yeah, dude, for sure. That's all you can do.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Appreciate you coming on, and we'll see you again.
No problem, man. Thank you.